Hello, my little fantasy nerds, and please join us for another episode of
Dungeon
Crawlers.
Crawlers.
Sorry for the layoff from last week. We had one guy moving, didn't have the internet, and it just didn't feel right to continue on the main campaign. We weren't really prepared for like a one-shot or anything like that, so we just called it a bye week, and we all relaxed and drank and did nothing. But where we left off, the party has made their way into the city. You have participated in these arenas trying to gain favor, to gain access to Gregarian's like dinner table is one of the ways you guys heard of talking to this individual. The plan has gone pretty well as Morn has battled and made his way through the ranks with the loss of one of the past members, Alyssa, betraying the group. The group moved forward, making friends with another individual, Jaden. As they continued forward, learning more information, Sheena made her way back to the inn to divulge more information that she had learned about gaining entry into this keep, castle, manor type deal. She speaks of an entrance into the bottom through this sewer system that seems to be where deliveries are made. And this individual that comes out late at night that seems to be something or someone that works for Gregarian picks up these deliveries and could possibly be bribed, persuaded, intimidated. You're unsure. Upon completing his last match, he seems to have drawn the attention of Gregarian. Morn and it sounds like possibly Kaz are going to go looking for some kind of formal wear, as they have been presented with an offer to come and eat at the table of Gregarian to discuss who knows. The rest of the group has yet to decide on any kind of method one way or another, as there's the possibility of going in through the sewer system, or Jaden has talked of doing some kind of ethereal transportation to and outside of the wall. But upon learning that there seems to be some sort of anti-magic barrier that encircles the gates or the outer walls of the keep, the plans have changed a little bit, and some more ideas are being tossed around. You guys have talked early morning, had your breakfast, as two of the members Kaz and Morn had seemed to leave to find some kind of dress wear and discuss what might happen throughout the evening. As the morning comes forth, the day is yours to do with what you wish. So, what you doing?
I'd be letting Kaz lead the way, because I would have no idea what in the world I'm looking for.
Yeah, I guess. Have we been past like a market section of the city? Like we would probably know where that is, right?
There's a couple different types of markets. There's the one that's close to the arena that's kind of more of like a flea market. So, people like you and me that lived in Texas, Arizona, those outside kind of sketchy flea markets, it seems to be kind of one of those. There is another, like an actual market kind of closer to the richer part of town. There's more of like the tailors or blacksmiths or potions shops and so forth, the higher end dealing of equipments. And then kind of down in the slum areas, there's more of a garage sale type thing, a lot more bartering.
Yeah, I guess I'm going to I want to change my appearance to look like Freya's disguised self.
Okay.
And then I guess we'll head to the richer area and see what we can find.
Okay. Anybody else in the meantime while they take off? Okay. Takes you guys about 10-15 minutes to get there. You get some looks as you enter, as it seems like it's a little more. The snooty people are coming out to do some minor shopping, with the stuff that they can't get within the gated community. Some supplies, reagents, books, so forth. Make a perception check to see if you can find something that you're looking for. Right up that wheelhouse. Okay. Kaz, you are so distracted by the people going around and just kind of giving you these constant stares. It's a little off-settling. You've always been used to being kind of the outcast, but you've never been just stared at the entire time that you're doing things. Usually you work a little more in the shadows. Morn, it takes you guys a little bit, but Kaz being as distracted as she is, you do notice a shop that has kind of a, like the top of a tux outfit embroidered on the window.
Yeah, I'll point at that. Do I have to put like something like this on?
Yes. I don't know if the answer is yes, but I'm definitely going to tell him yes. There wasn't any info in terms of attire or anything in the invite, right?
Nope. You're assuming this is probably something that most nobles just assume they're supposed to dress up. There's no just like, oh yeah, you just show up in your Sunday best. People show up in jeans and a shirt. It's kind of like an implied, like, you show up a certain way.
No, it might not make sense for the slave to have that nice of clothes, right?
Or it makes us look even better if the slave has the best clothes available in the town. That's the real power move.
Okay.
Right? Hey, my slave has more expensive clothes than you.
Yeah, that would show them.
So I think you need cummerbund, cufflinks,
Oh baby.
the whole deal.
Damn.
This is so weird. You look just like Freya, you sound just like Freya, but that's nothing Freya would say.
Or is it?
I trust you. If you think this is what I need to wear, I'll wear it.
Kaz immediately starts thinking of what kind of tricks he can play on Morn.
Morn's slightly confused. A little aroused, but like at the same time knows it's Kaz. Anyways, do you enter the shop?
Yeah.
There's a greater than 50% chance Martin ends up in a female suit, isn't there?
We'll see what they have.
So, you enter the shop, and as you enter, it is it looks quaint and small on the outside, but as you enter, it opens up into this large room. To the left side, there are dresses and like cocktail dresses and like a whole plethora of like women's wear. To the right, there's suits. There is coats, jackets, ties, bow ties, shoes, the whole 9 yards. And as you walk in, you are greeted by a elderly gentleman, late 50s, early 60s maybe, completely bald, except for one little like the ponytail, just like right in the middle of the head and the back, and it comes down, and then like you get as you get closer, you notice like the rest of the hair is it is actually there, but it's like these wisps, but he's like pulled them all the way back and into the hair that's actually thick right at the back. He's got a very, very nice suit on, dark black with kind of a like a red undershirt and a tie. Good evening, and may I help you?
So
just look up and down, like kind of like a snooty.
Yeah. So just to clarify, Freya, when you do disguise self, are you disguising yourself as a human woman?
Yeah. So Freya would look pretty much, when I do the disguise self, pretty much exactly the same, with the exception that features are a less elven, so a little rounder face, make the eyes match, and then of course rounding out the ears. But otherwise, completely the same.
Okay. So I'll tell the gentleman that's there. I'll say, my companion and I have a dinner with the Baron. It's a Baron, right?
Yes.
With the Baron. We want to look our best.
Hold time out. It talks back to you?
Yeah.
It talks back to you. Okay, sorry.
No.
That caught me off guard.
Has he been there the
yes.
whole time?
Yeah. For anybody that's like the first time you talk in chat.
Just type in chat.
The first time you talk in chat since the live scene started, he'll talk back to you.
Yeah, I messed with me just a little bit. I'm sorry. Anyways, yeah.
It'll do other shit too, but we're not there yet.
The individual goes from kind of this like get out of my get out of here kind of street slum to this. Oh, I see. And you're looking for dress attire for the for dinner, cocktails. What would you be looking for?
Exactly. Do you have any formal wear that is unisex so that my companion and I could match?
Yes and no.
His brain explodes.
I can make something to match the both of you. We could pick an outfit out, and I could pick pieces to match the items together.
I want to look at Morn and see how uncomfortable he is with the idea of like a matching formal wear.
Honestly, Morn already looked so uncomfortable in this shop that
anything else is just whatever.
Yeah, at this point, it can't get worse. So
the shop is like the ceiling is like a little bit taller than normal, but even then, Morn is standing like 3-4 feet over like all of the racks of clothes, and he's just like hulking over everything.
Now, my friend is giant, as you can see. Is that going to be a problem?
No, I can make alterations.
What do you think you could have by tomorrow? Is tomorrow the meeting?
Tonight.
Well, what could you have for us that would look presentable by tonight?
Tonight.
Yes.
For you, that whole wall right there, easily. Both. For that, I need measurements. I believe I could get it done with a rush order. We would have to probably use 2, maybe 3 suits and tailor them together.
More.
Yes.
Drop your pants and let them measure your inseam. It's important. That's how they do pants.
That. No.
And he, as you
No?
say that, yes, a lady that knows, and like claps, and two gnomes come out and start guiding you towards this like little this little pedestal.
Morton is already starting to take them off in the spot, and then when he sees him guided, he has to like pull him back up and then
Just
make his way over.
like wobbling.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. The two gnomes begin to just measure, and they get up in like inner thigh, like right up below the junk.
Hey, watch it, pervert! Getting awfully close to my shaft.
Yeah. And it's like the inner, and then like down the other side, and like your waist and your shoulders, and it's pretty unsettling for you. So about 10 minutes later,
10 minutes.
yeah. Oh, I believe we have all of the sizing that we need. Would the lady like to be sized as well to pick out, and then we could do colors after that?
Sure.
This way, ma'am. And they lead you over there. It takes slightly less time, like 3-4 minutes. And it's quick little measurements. Yeah. It doesn't take very long at all. And now he guides you to this wall that has all these drapes of different colors. And he pretty much guides you into picking the main colors for, any of the flowers, any of the, whatever else you would like. And he pretty much asks you if there's any special alterations you want done. Any ruffles, any special colors that run the inners of the gowns or the inners of his jacket.
Yeah, any sort of added accents that we can get in time would be great. The more ruffles, the better.
Ah, yes.
Oh,
I believe I have some ideas. Do you want a one cufflink or two?
Let's do 2.
2 it is. Do you want a deep V, or would you like a cocktail V where it comes down and only does 1 to 2 buttons?
Gotta be deep V.
If you put all these on yours, we're not gonna match.
Oh, the lady will have a simple cocktail dress with the accents of colors added into whatever your suit matches.
I don't get it. Whatever.
Hat or no hat? We have several different variations that we could add to him. Or if you prefer, we could do a simple bow tie for the long... Since he has longer hair, we could add a simple bow tie that he could pull his hair back into a nice ponytail.
I like that.
Simple enough. What colors would you like for the suit?
I guess I like a black with emerald trim.
Easily doable. Do you prefer long dress, knee height, or cocktail?
I guess knee.
Knee it is. Do you prefer a full shoulder or a strap?
Full.
Full it is. Would you like a overcoat or no coat?
I think I would like an overcoat.
Easily doable. Would the lady like a matching purse to go with this?
Yeah.
Very
I
well.
think so. If there's
He
time.
He just keeps like jotting notes down as you go through all of this. As I can tell, this is probably the slave, and or the fighter. Would you like the tux or the suit labeled with the emblem of your house?
I would not.
Fair enough.
I have my own plans for it. Thank you, though.
Easily doable. He begins like measuring things down, and you see him kind of like he's doing what is it, like a hibiscus, the little thing with the with each one of the little dials where he's like doing all the calculations on it, the old school.
Abacus.
Oh, an abacus.
Abacus.
Yes.
Thank you. You see him like doing like calculations, and he's doing back. I was like, I can't remember what it's called. Hibiscus. But he
Those are
does
two very different things, my friend.
Shut up, Andre. I'll kill you. But he's doing the calculations, and about like 30 seconds goes by. That will come to 10 gold and 17 gold with rush.
I'll give him 20.
Very well. We will make sure to have this done within as soon as we can. We will inform you. Cast space. Wait 1 second. Do. Oof. So, how's everybody doing tonight? Just waiting on Kaz real
great.
quick.
Good.
And actually, you know what? While we're waiting on Kaz to come back, what is the rest of the group doing during this whole period of time while they're out shopping?
Last night was the night that I got wasted, yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. You got pretty lit up.
I'm probably taking it easy because I know tonight might be the night. So I'm gonna rest up and just kind of chill for a bit. Nurse the wine headache off.
Fair enough.
Yeah, we woke up in the middle of the night for some reason. Why did we do that?
Sheena got attacked.
That's right.
She was out gathering information, and she was making her way back, and had been Jaden had been awoken by Ozzy.
That's right.
So you guys are pretty much just kind of hanging out, waiting for tonight. Any plans? Any gathering of anything before they come back?
Well, I'm laying low, but other people.
I would actually probably be being anxious about how all this is gonna work out. Probably try to take my mind off it by like reading the journal, as usual.
Okay. So you're just kind of gathering and waiting for the time being. Sheena is just sitting in the room, kind of hanging out, because I don't think you guys had all left yet. You guys were still all sitting in the same room.
Yeah.
Sheena is just kind of fiddling her her thumb, like staring at the whole group, just kind of waiting.
I'm in a not like long rest type trance, but like I'm pretty quiet and eyes closed in the corner.
Yeah, I feel like we're kind of in limbo right now, waiting for the plan to take effect.
I'm gonna head outside.
Okay. Sheena gives you kind of
Jaden just stands up out the chair and be like, I'm gonna head out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Sheena
kind of
Sheena
wordlessly. He just leaves.
Yeah, she gives you kind of an inquisitive look and like raises the eyebrow in your direction.
So I just give her like a wink and continue walking.
Okay, she just is confused, but gives it like the corner of the mouth has this like kind of smirk, and she like just kind of okay, doesn't say anything. Where are we going, Jaden?
I want to find a nice secluded park area where we can practice.
Is what?
You know what?
I have a couple of ideas. The ethereal thing. You know it's creepy, right?
I need to prove that I can do this, Ozzy. I know I can do this, and I will do this.
I know you can do it. I just... The whole anti-magic thing, yeah, it puts me a little on edge.
I'll just sort of continue walking.
Okay. The 20 gold is taken from you, Kaz, and the alterations begin to be, and you see as he like immediately like handing the extra amount of gold made their day, and he sets them to work like haste. Would you like this delivered to your residence, or are you coming back to pick this up?
How far are we from where we're supposed to have dinner?
You guys are about like right here-ish,
So pretty close.
and like real close.
I guess we'll come back before the dinner to pick it up, and then can we change here before we go?
We preparatory things can be made to help you get suited and fitted. Yes,
Let's do that.
fair enough. We will have this done within the next couple of hours.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. And they bow low as you exit. So, what are the rest of you doing in the meantime?
I'm gonna go ahead and subtract that 20 gold from the party gold because I feel like this is official Lone Ranger business.
You know,
Totally.
How diplomatic of you.
Yeah, I'm gonna expense this. I'll turn in my receipt at the end of the quarter.
My bookkeeper
Like,
will
yeah.
reach out to your bookkeeper.
File an expense form.
A lot of checks and balances.
oh. Per our last conversation, Diablo, did you want to try and do that now?
Oh.
Bobo?
No, I guess not. I don't. Well, how much time do we have?
You have the whole day. It is 8 a.m. at this point. The late dinner, you would have been invited to specified a time, like late evening, like 7, 8 o'clock.
Yeah, I guess I will if I think we have time. I'm just thinking about the spell slot. Yeah, I guess I will go ahead and do it. Fuck, yeah.
So are you going to wait till you get back to your room, or are you just going to do it right there in the street?
I'll wait till we get back to the room.
Okay. Okay, sounds good. So you guys begin to make your way back towards the inn. Andre, you are in kind of a deep meditative state, trying to detoxify.
Detoxify and just fucking focus.
Freya, you're kind of in the same state, correct?
Yep. Reading
You're
the
kind of
journal,
just
trying to decompress.
relaxing, trying to, And for the first time in a long time, for some reason, you feel lighter, less angry.
Hmm.
Feel good. Feel really
Excellent.
good.
Excellent.
You just feel like something is not holding you back.
Good
Awesome.
vibes.
Good vibes.
The weight has been lifted.
Haven't felt like that in a long time. Just that constant, like, almost on the verge of like an anxiety attack. Just isn't there anymore.
Damn.
Badass.
Jaden, you've made your way off, and you found a couple of spots that are pretty secluded, that give you the ability to practice. Roll a stealth check for me. I'm almost out of beer.
Average.
You feel like nobody sees you doing what you're doing.
All right.
Okay.
I will take out the large folding mirror that I have and sort of set it up against the wall or something.
Okay.
And then I'll say inside of my head, do you want me to handle this one, or do you want to come along with me for the ride?
Well, you're kind of human, so I'm gonna go along, just in case, you know.
Okay. Then I'll allow Ozzy to possess me, and after that, I shall. This is a long block, but yeah, I'll use a mirror gate.
Okay.
Holy shit.
This is a lot of clauses.
Guys, he's creating a mirror portal. It's badass.
So yeah, you spend the next millennia reading that and then get back to me.
Sorry, I'm skimming real fast, guys.
Oh no, you're good.
Okay, so, as you kind of do you do a small dive, not like the full force, but you get enough to where you're comfortable. You unfold the mirror, and you focus, and you kind of you do like that, like where you kind of semi crack your neck, and as you open your eyes, the eyes glaze, and you're gone out of existence and into the ethereal plane. And think of it a lot like Lord of the Rings, like when he puts on the Ring of Sorrow, the ring. You just everything is almost like this wisty, like
The
almost like a
Wraith world.
fire. Yeah, and you just everything.
Yeah, I have an
looks
example
different.
of the border ethereal.
Yeah.
Mm.
And he can't even hear himself breathe. It's almost like a sensory deprivation tank where all his senses are just gone.
Yep. And you are in the realm, and you know you are there, even though it doesn't feel like you left anything.
Yeah.
And that's what it's like on the ethereal plane.
You feel comfortable as you take off at a sprint, with Ozzy basically lending you the speed of flight.
Yeah, and I
And
also
you-
start a self-internal clock for 10 minutes, just knowing when I have to find an exit gate.
Yep. And you what you're trying to focus on is see how far you can get in 10 minutes with
Yeah, I'm
speed.
trying to limit test.
So, what if one is higher level? So, as Jaden is practicing and trying to test the uppermost limits of how far he can go in the ethereal plane before he has to bamf out and make it a permanent solution, what is the flight speed again?
Same as my walking speed, so 30 feet.
Okay. I'll have to do some calculations here in a second. For 10 minutes, I feel like it's a pretty good jaunt of space. Especially if you're going, you're using your actions to basically double sprint.
Yeah, the dash.
You could go, you could do the double dash. So, I mean, you're going basically 60. So, I mean, you could cruise. And then, so. But you use this time to push it to the absolute maximum. Once Kaz gets back, we'll do that whole thing. But we'll say... Oh, Jesus. So, in essence, you could go about... 2, 1, 6, 8. So, let's say... We'll say roughly about 1,600 feet.
Okay.
In 10 minutes. So, it's a lot. That's a fucking ways.
Yeah, it's about a fifth of a mile.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's you can cruise if all you're doing is using double dash, and for 10 minutes you are straight hauling ass.
Yeah.
So we'll say with breaks in between to rest, because you can't go just straight 10 minutes. We'll say probably around 1,300 to 1,400 feet roughly.
Okay.
Kaz, you get back to the inn, and you draw the circle.
Now, I'm assuming that I know that Bobo will be able to send me back. Right? I mean, we've had conversations about how all the doors in his place work and stuff, right? So.
Correct, but some hadn't been open to you and some had.
Right.
And I'll determine. Oh, there we
My
go.
shit's still broken. What the fuck?
Hey, we back.
Let's go.
I think we're good now.
All right. So, Andre, why is your webcam not on? Damn it.
Oh, is it? I completely forgot.
It's all good. You don't have to if you don't want to. I'm just giving you shit.
I'll turn it on in a bit.
It's all good. You've gotten the gist before that when you enter his tower, he gets kind of a mental sense somebody's in there.
He's got some sort of monitoring and alerting, surely. Me as a human, I have a risk-averse personality, but Kaz does not. So I think she would just roll the dice and go.
Sounds good.
Fuck it.
You guys watch as Kaz sets up the symbols in one of the rooms.
And I'll tell Morn, I'm gonna go visit our friend. I'll be back before it's time to leave. You're welcome to tag along if you want.
Where are you going?
See your best friend.
Oh, I'll stay here.
He's like, nah.
Yeah, I'm good.
Suit yourself.
And with that, Kaz is gone. You arrive in the tower, and it has been redecorated. There's flowing tapestries. There's some paintings of Bobo. There's a new pillow pit, and all the pillows are now, instead of like a gray and purple, they're like a dark purple with like these golds like silhouettes around all of the pillows. And there's a new hookah pipe in the center of the pillow pit, and there's a large table that sits 7 people, and individual seats, and like a chandelier now. And as you enter in to the front door, you hear, "Welcome, welcome, Kaz. It's good to see you again."
I want to give Boa a big hug.
Ah, yes. It's been so lonely here.
Has it?
Well, I mean, when you're
figured
the
you'd
only
have people-
attractive person here. I mean,
Figured
you
you'd
know.
have people in and out all the time.
Oh, I do, but they don't stay for long. What can I help you with?
Well, I was hoping you may have some books that I could study.
I have plenty of books. I have a whole library. I've told you this. You have access to that room.
Yeah, I'm just. You mind if I spend, a few hours here in the afternoon, looking them over, trying to copy down a few spells.
Oh, you want those books?
Those books.
Follow me. He brings you up he starts walking up the stairs, and he's like walking in front of you, and he has this like think of like Bridezilla, like their dresses, where it has like the thing that like hangs behind it like 7, 10, 12 feet.
Oh yeah.
And it's like this long, like purple, like bathrobe type deal with this like giant, like thick, like golden cord that wraps around it. And he's just got like the chest hair just popping out the front, and he's just walking.
Full of taco meat.
Oh yeah, just looking good, freshly shaved, coiffed hair over the side. So, walk and talk with me. What have you been up to these days? What is going on in the realm? I've
Well-
kind of been staying here. It's a little more peaceful.
Yeah, I bet. We've tracked down Andre's daughter.
That's good.
The Baron and McKill, we think has her. They're doing some strange experiments there. I've got dinner with him tonight.
Yeah.
So
Would this
morning.
individual be called Gregorian?
Yes,
Hmm.
he's a
You
shithead.
you do know what his nicknames are, correct?
I don't think I do.
He is called the Collector, and he is also called the Hunter.
Yeah, I think he's collected quite a few specimens, including what we suspect is Henri's daughter. So I don't know exactly how it's going to go down, but Morn and I we're invited. The others are trying to find a way in, stealthily. Morn wanted to come with me so bad, but he had to get fitted for some formal wear, so he couldn't make it.
Well, next time.
There's always next time.
Of course. We can always... You know what? Now that you say that, I will have to make a visit sometime. Next time I get my hair cut.
Yeah. Wherever we are, you are always welcome.
I appreciate that.
Those are his words.
And he kind of like peeks over his shoulder.
From his lips to your ears.
His lips to my ears, you say? I like that.
It's got a ring, doesn't it?
A little bit. As long as it's a soft whisper. Oh, anyways, I'm getting all flustered. And he like runs his hand along the door and does kind of this archaic pattern. And as he does, he pushes his all of his fingertips into the door, and you watch as the door opens to a new room. And as it opens, the walls are lined with these archaic books. Now, you may read these books, but you cannot take these books. These are a private collection that I procured over the years.
Do you mind if I copy some things down? I'll take out my ritual book and I'll say, how I never had a book? I got a book for myself.
Well, very nice. What are you looking for? Maybe I can help you.
I'm looking for a so as we go into the building, we're going to be separated for a while. So I'm looking for a spell that will allow us to communicate telepathically while we're separated.
Okay.
Just so we can let the others know what's going on,
Okay. So he snaps his finger, and one book about 20 to 30 feet up and to the left just all of a sudden magically comes off of the shelf and floats and comes down and floats over right in front of you. That's one. What is something else you would like?
I'm also hoping to... I've seen other people do this, but I'm hoping to find something to take an item and hide it away in a pocket dimension or another realm or something, and then recall it to you, at a later time when need it, in case we need to sneak in some weapons or something like that.
I like the way you think. That one would be... That's an older one. And really, really high up on the top, kind of out of sight almost in the dark region. A book just floats down, very old. That one right there. This one's a fun one. So you may copy these and spend as long as you want here. Where you said that Gregarian, so that would be door 7. I will go open that door for you, and when you are ready, that door is down the stairs and to the right. It is the gold door with the cog wheel and the almost little wrench on the door. That town it's so modern. I don't like it.
Yes, it's cursed or blessed with modernity, depending on, I guess, your preference.
Not my preference.
I hear you.
But Morn, that's my preference.
Oh, no.
He's really sad that he's not here.
Well,
and I
I'll
am
pay
too.
visit.
Yeah.
I'll visit soon enough. That's not a problem.
So the 7th door down to the right will take me back there.
It'll bring you to, I believe it was a friend of mine, his back room. I believe it was somewhere in the Tinker's Galore. Yes, a good friend of mine, gnomish fellow, known him for many years. He's done a couple of work for me. He might be a little surprised, so I'll send him a little message and just tell him to leave the back door open. if you want to, you can talk to him. If not, I mean, you can just leave. That's not a big deal.
Perfect. Bobo, this is super helpful. What can I do for you? How can I repay you?
Friends, we're doing favors. Just come back and visit. It gets lonely here.
I will.
You slap around this Gregarian fellow a little bit, come back and we'll have another discussion. I'll make treats. I'll make dinner. Dinner's on me.
Next time we come, it'll be for a party.
Deal. I will change the place up. And as he like turns around and starts walking away, you just hear him like talking to himself, and you hear, "Oh yes, streamers over there, and a picture of me, bright and bold. Yes, I like that." And as he's saying that, you see like one of the streamers like starts to go down and reform itself, and it's a half-clothed like Bobo in like this like elegant pose, like looking out over like this beach sunset over this cliff. Ah, regal. Yes. Ta-ta, Kaz. Ta-ta.
Thank you, Bobo.
Take your time. I'll have treats sent up.
I'm just envisioning this painting.
Oh, except for a robe that covers all of that instead of the leaves, and like just like this like open area, and he's like a cliff, and over the cliff and like overlooking the sea, and he's just like regally looking out. Yeah.
Very on brand.
That's from Wedding Crashers.
Nope. Just flowing gown, like pretty much the same thing he's wearing except for a different color.
The painting was a gift, Todd.
A gift. So, that will take you pretty much the better part of the morning and like early afternoon.
I call the
Like,
painting celebration. It's violent and sexual.
I forgot that's what it's called.
So good. So good. So, well, Kaz is pretty much gone for the time being. What are the rest of you guys doing? If not
So
doing anything.
after Kaz said he was going to go talk to Bobo, Morn would say no, go sit by Freya, and then like a minute later stand up and just start pacing back and forth. And then like 5 minutes later just shout out, "Why is Kaz talking to Bobo?"
I'm gonna look
So,
kind of confused.
Andre, Freya, and Sheena, like all of a sudden you guys see him like pacing back and forth the room, and then just stop and, "Why is Cass talking to Bobo?" And you guys are just like, "Whoa, whoa."
Yeah, I'm gonna look at him kind of confused, just because there's random outbursts. Everything okay? What's going on with Bobo?
Well, like Bobo acts like he's so powerful and helpful, and then he just lets us go here and doesn't do anything. Just sits in his throne room that he made for himself.
I think that's kind of his style. He likes to give just enough to help without getting involved. I don't know. He seems like that kind of person.
Yeah,
I
I
never
don't
really
like him.
fully trusted him.
No,
I trust him,
I don't
but
either.
trust him.
Aw.
No, that's what I'm saying. Trust him, but I don't quite trust him because he's got his own kind of agenda.
He definitely does.
Kai.
Hey, he definitely does. How well
does Andre know Bobo?
What?
How well does Andre know Bobo? Or had I never met him before that one time?
I don't think you'd never known a Bobo.
He's involved with the Justice's Boon though, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how would I not have known him?
Very, very behind the scenes.
Fair enough.
Like, even more so than the assassins that you know of.
Right.
Like
Like it's
Bobo is kind of like a random entity that he just like bamfs in, bamfs out. Like people, like you knew of him, but it was like oh yeah, this is just a guy that helps the Justice's Moon. Like you didn't think anything of it.
He's just kind of like a weird guy that may or may not be like an urban myth.
Yeah, he's just kind of like somebody where you're just like, oh, it's that Bobo guy. Yeah, he's kind of weird, real goofy. Yeah. And then like people are like Bobo, yeah, Bobo, and you're like, Bobo.
I'm like, yeah, I totally know him.
Yeah, he's very, very out there. The person who would probably know him the best would be Elena. Like really well.
Fair.
But she never talked about him.
Strange.
Very. So, Morn has randomly outbursted, asking why you are talking to Bobo.
Yeah, he'll just start brooding for like probably another 15 minutes, and then get over himself. But
it'll be okay, Morn. I'm sure. Whatever they talk about, hopefully, will end in some kind of assistance.
He's probably telling Bobo all about my suit.
Knowing Kaz, probably, but
probably.
I mean,
it's the worst thing.
But think of why you're doing it, though. It really isn't that bad anymore. If you
I know. No, it's still pretty bad.
No, it's just an outfit. You're gonna be able to take it off and destroy it if you want to afterwards. We'll have a burning ceremony. You can burn it in flames and throw it in the ocean. Who knows? Whatever you want to do.
It can't be that bad, right?
I mean, yeah, is it really that bad?
Yeah, it's that bad.
Did Kaz pick it out?
The whole...
Or did you pick it out?
Kaz picked it out, and he wanted it to match hers.
Oh, okay. That explains a little more.
She owes me, and I give a menacing glare at Andre.
And I'll just like kind of nod, just like and then back in. And dead to the world again.
Kai's hitting it tonight.
Bobo would probably pay top dollar for that picture.
True.
So do you think that you could get him while he's in the changing room? I would much appreciate that.
Moment.
Yeah.
So
Martin takes a deep breath and collects himself.
So, while the rest of you guys are meditating, Jaden, in the middle of bamfing in and out and testing the limits, the maximum you get is about 1,450 feet before you realize that you need to bamf out, and you're not close to any kind of mirrors or anything like that allow you to step out of the ethereal realm, and for a split second, you freak out. And as you look closely around, trying to find a way out, realizing your time is coming towards the 10 minutes, you lean forward in kind of a moment of panic, trying to figure out how to exit the realm, and accidentally touch a brass pot, like a vase, and all of a sudden you pass back into the normal realm.
So I just face plant because I just wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, like end over end. And you're standing in some you're standing in some noble lady's like house, like a nicer house, and you manage to find this like it's like probably about as big as your body and like half the size of your body, but it is like a brass like pots like flowers and like decorations.
Oh, you all right?
Ozzy,
Oh,
are you still there?
What did we just do? That wasn't a mirror.
It wasn't. It doesn't have to be a mirror. It could be any reflective surface.
Oh shit.
This is huge, my friend.
So, we think, if my calculations are correct, we maxed out at about 1,400 square feet.
I think so, and I was just about coming to the end of the 10 minutes.
We can go anywhere in the city, basically.
It's very true, and now, since the portals are linked, if I just touch it again, we should be brought back to the first one instantly. No,
Try it
touch
out. You are sucked all the way back to the mirror in the tiny little courtyard that you had set the mirror up in. And as you do, you pop out the other side, and 3 children are playing in the field opposite of you. Ah! And just scream as you are full dive in the dragon-like attire as you just pop out of the mirror. And they take off screaming, yelling for their moms.
Mommy! I think we accidentally might have just started a new town boogeyman.
I think it's time to go. No, not funny. We gotta go. Oh shit.
He'll like half start packing stuff up, but just kind of like laughing at the excitement of the new prospects now that he's discovered the extent of the power.
Yeah.
He'll pack up the mirror, fold it up, dispel the portal, and which will automatically dispel the portal because it becomes smaller. And he'll head back to the inn.
Okay. Until that one time, Jaden comes on the opposite end of a chamber pot. Bad news bears. But as you pack it up and you leave the little courtyard, it takes you a little bit. And as you leave the courtyard, you do notice like a bunch of moms and children and like other parents are making way to the courtyard as they're like looking around for whatever their kids were pointing out.
And I would have dispelled possession before I exited my the secluded area.
Yep. I assumed as much.
Yeah. No.
Just walking through town with full garb. Just hi guys.
yeah, hello.
Hi.
Hello.
You begin to make your way back towards the end. At this point, you've practiced it a couple of times. You've gone a long distance, tested out the draw back and forth, making sure that it's a safe means of travel. You're pretty confident of what you can do at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So happy with the progression that you've made. Little excited with the new thing that you found out, that it does not have to be a mirror. So you do not specifically have to find a mirror. It just has to be anything that is reflective. The only drawback that you are uncertain of at this point is what happens if you hit the anti-magic shell.
No.
Which you're still trying to work that out in your head, how it may or may not affect you.
Mm-hmm.
As you make your way back towards the inn, the rest of the group are doing their things. It's become later evening at this point. Anybody else want to do anything in the meantime, or should we just do a little time skip? Anybody want to do any shopping? Anything talking?
I think we should all take a moment just to appreciate Frosty. Because we were all legitimately concerned that you were choking and dying.
Yeah.
I fucking act, bro. I'm putting that shit where I work in.
Like, we're all like,
He's
oh,
scared.
and even Ray was like, oh, are you okay? You just keep rolling with it. It's like, oh, fuck.
I brought that cough out from the depths of my intestines.
You felt it.
Little do we know, Frosty's over there like cleaning up that butt, like he just like oof. I think I just let out a little one. But anybody doing anything in the meantime?
I mean, not
Okay.
really.
We are going to time skip through the day as you guys make your way. Get off of my screen, Bug.
It's a dragon, it's not a bug.
No, there's a bug in my screen. You make your way back and you explain the findings to Sheena and over lunch, very excitedly.
Yeah, that's what I would have done.
The rest of the group. Are you moving the dragon around?
Yes. It's a dragon, not a bug.
This is what I get for giving her things to play with. Anyways,
That's what you get.
As the group makes their way back, Kaz, you are still studying during this time, but as the day progresses on, you've inherently learned the spells, so you can add them to your repertoire as you would wish. You bamf back, finding the door. Bobo's nowhere to be seen at this point. You do hear some music, like farther up in his little man cave area, and you hear like some like loud singing. You're not really sure what's going on up there, and you're not really sure if you want to go like investigate. But he sounds pretty excited.
I'm gonna leave him to it.
Okay. You bamf back to the inn, or to the Tinker's. Shoot, what was it called? I think they called it the Tinker's
Galore.
Tinker's Galore. Which would land you guys, or Tinker's Galore would be in the medium part of town, so that would land you over around right here-ish.
I will, if no one saw me or immediately said anything, I will try to sneak out the way that he told me I could and just make I guess just make my way back to the inn. It's a little far away, but
Yep, you bamf in, and it's actually a specialized room, and you're a little surprised by this at first. And the door, like when you look at it, the door is cracked open partially. But when the door looks closed, it looks to be like almost like a metallic room that's sealed and actually locked from the outside. So you feel like this was probably something that was done as a favor a very long time ago and left here. But as you exit on the other side, you see a note that says, "Please lock the door." And you see like a little lock.
I'll be sure to. I'll do like maybe I'm the only one that does this. Lock it and then like try to open it 3 times.
Oh yeah.
Make sure it's locked real
Every
good.
time. Every time. You got to do the 3 jiggle every
Yeah.
time.
Oh yeah.
But you exit into an alley, and it's late evening. You gather. It's probably around 5:30.
I will book it as quick as I can to the end to try to meet up with the others.
Okay, it's gonna take you probably like 30 to 40 minutes to get across town, but you manage to make your way back to the inn right at about 6ish. Noting that you don't have much time, you kind of come running into the inn.
I'll kind of do the Kramer, burst into the room, be like, "Morin, are you ready to go?"
Let's do it.
To the rest of the people there, I'll say, "Did you guys find a reliable way in?"
I think that's supposed to be Jaden.
Kind of
We'll figure it
look
out.
to him and go, how was the day? Are we good? Are we still on?
As long as we can get past the barrier, yes, we should be.
Do you need us to find the mirror inside?
No. I have, like I said, I have a folding mirror with me that I'll just place outside the castle walls, and then I should be able to teleport everyone inside.
Do you know where one is inside?
I'll find one.
Okay.
You two just be very careful.
You
And
too.
Morn, you still have my cloak, so if you two needed to get out of there in a pinch.
Can I wear that under my suit?
You could probably hide it under your suit. I don't see why not.
And what about this? And I'm gonna grab my great axe.
I don't think
Ta-
that's gonna fit under your suit.
Take it with you. I got a plan.
Okay.
And I guess we'll head off to the tailor. I guess it was a tailor. To get changed and get ready to go.
Get ready, spaghetti.
So
And scene.
you make your way to the tailor, and as you walk in, they have both of the dress and the suit basically set up and ready to rock for you guys to change into. A very gorgeous black sleek outfit for you, Kaz, with the emerald lacing that like lines the outer edges of the straps up and over. As you put on the like overcoat, it's kind of like just above your hip, and it comes to a button up the center if you want a button, and along the outer edges is a like not really like frill slash fur, but emerald that lines the whole like coif basically around the neck, and it lays flat against the shoulders. And as it comes down, you have these two wrists that comes down, and at the edges of the wrist you kind of have like this overlap with these ruffles that go along. The dress comes about to knee height and is very, very sleek and very nice. Morn's is pretty much exactly what you linked me in Discord. It has like these emerald ruffles that go along, and it comes to a deep V, and this emerald almost turquoise shirt underneath that comes up to a giant bulb.
It was very old timey sort of. They used to put like the tack in it right here, right? Like
Yeah.
it poofs up and they put the little thing in it. I don't know what that's called, but
And it looks very, very nice, but for Morn, you're kind of like, shit. It's very tight and constricting, but it
I'm
fits very well.
just take a couple seconds to look at more and really absorb what I'm seeing so that I can describe it later to Bobo as a thanks to.
Martin's thinking about how fast can you rip it off.
You feel Morn, it wouldn't take more than 2 fingers, and in one fell movement, you could probably take the whole outfit.
Great.
Yeah, easy.
Passes inspection.
It's not durable. It's made to look nice.
Yeah, you kind of give it like and you hear it kind of like, and you're like, ooh, I'm gonna leave that alone. And you watch as like when you do that, you watch as like the tailor and the 2 assistants are like they watch you like do it, and you're kind of like, But, you get dressed in a matter of minutes, and you feel like you have about 20 minutes to get to the manor.
Am I able to hide my cloak somewhere accessible?
The cloak, like the cope of the cloak of Montabag.
Correct.
You could put it on and maybe, or you could try tucking it under your suit, but the suit is very tight fitting.
Does he have like an overcoat though?
No. Nope, he got just the jacket.
Is the cloak? You know, a cloak could mean like shitty woven fabric, or like very nice sort of elegant cloak, or anything in between. How does this one look? Like, would we be able to pass it off as like?
No.
It
looks quite a bit different than what he's got going on. It does not look
I have a picture
regal.
Of it. That's what it looks like. It's like red. I'm showing it on stream. It's like red. It's a nice cloak, but I mean, if you're wearing like emerald.
Oh,
and
it's
stuff,
that's not gonna
it's
work.
very flashy.
Completely different. Yep.
I say fuck it and put it on. It's just my vote.
Okay, I'll attempt to put it on and look like Riding Hood.
Okay.
Little Red Riding Hood.
Red Riding Hood you are. As you guys begin to make your way towards the
Going to
front
grandma's
gates.
house.
Takes you 20-ish minutes, not even 10-15. You get to the front gate. Halt! Who goes there?
This is the prized fighter of the arena.
Lower the cape, please. That it is.
I'll
Are
show
you
him the invitation, or whatever we got.
Yes, you are. You are expected. Any magical items, weapons, before the search that you would wish to hand over before they are removed?
Fuck me.
Shit!
Can I cast that spell before we go?
I will let you. Take
I've-
a step back.
Let's do that.
Our DM's being nice.
Well, I'll let you.
Wait, what about the cloak? Does something bad happen to the cloak?
Can I put the cloak in the same thing as the axe? Or can you only cast it on one thing?
It's one object.
Just gonna have to chance it, I guess. Shit.
So I can smuggle in one object. We can do the cloak or the axe. I mean, I was thinking the axe. You know what? Let's do the axe. We'll tell him the cloak is magical. It has a
Restraining? spell?
restraining spell that doesn't allow you to run away and escape. You buy that?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I will I will cast Wrist Pocket on Morn's axe, and it will disappear into an extra dimensional space. We'll go to the gate with the cloak.
Okay. So you guys begin to make your way towards the entrance, and you the same conversation that is happening. Is there anything you would like to hand over before we do the search and procure them for the night? No weapons, magical items of any sorts allowed within the castle.
Well, our slave fighter here has a cloak that is cursed. It's to prevent him from escaping or, being violent against his owners or masters. Obviously for obvious reasons, I would prefer that he keep it and wear it throughout the night. He's pretty tame, but just for everyone's benefit and everyone's safety, I think it would be best if he kept it on.
Fair enough. We're just going to do a preliminary search regardless. An individual, he turns around and snaps his finger, and an individual in a blue cape, or a black cape, blue cape, sorry, that begins to walk his way towards you. This is one of a court-appointed magicians. He is actually going to just make sure, and we're going to do a little search. And you watch as he waves the hand, and the eyes glaze over. You're pretty familiar with this, and it looks like it's identify. And he begins searching over your persons, and he just looks at Morn.
Oh, come on.
And then he looks at you. And he leans in, and he tells the guard. And he begins pointing out each one of you guys as magical objects.
Oh, fucking come on.
If you could
You
please
said identify?
Yeah.
Oh, so that he's gonna know that ain't no restraining cloak.
Yeah. If you could please
Uh-oh.
not identify, sorry, detect magic. My bad. If you could please hand over the cloak, the staff, and he names off whatever else you guys have on you for magical items.
Sure, I'll pick up my ring.
They will be handed back to you when you guys leave the mansion. For the time being, we will place them within the armory for your nearest convenience.
I don't have to wear my restraining hood?
We have other ways of restraining. If you decide you want to get violent.
I'm gonna get a big smile on my face.
And he just smiles right back.
Oh, fuck.
If you wish, we could lend you a shackle for the night. And he pulls out, and you instantly recognize this morning Kaz as one of the restraining collars that basically can render you inert. Would you like to borrow one for the night, or do you have one of your own?
The cloak is really just added protection. He's very well behaved.
Fair enough. Should he not be, we have plenty of them on hand.
Did you lie to me about the cloak?
What?
Make a deception check. Morn.
Bro. Oh my god.
No!
The guard just looks at you and then
Uh-oh.
looks at Kaz and looks back at Morn. Please be so kind as to enter.
You guys haven't even gotten inside yet. This is not going so well.
Yeah,
Nay, no it isn't.
We should have
Ooh,
chosen the
fuck.
cloak over the axe.
Or Freya should have kept it. Fuck.
So 2 guards step in front of you, very intricately dressed in armor, and they get to lead you into the building. You are led through a series of giant doors and intricate hallways. There's a couple of spots where there's almost like indoor gardens and flower gardens and like indoor like greenhouses. Very, very pretty. And as you walk, make a perception check, both of you. Yo!
Alright,
Yo!
Kaz!
Kaz pulling out the good rolls.
So, interestingly, you start to notice things that are kind of weird. As you walk and down some of these side hallways, as you get deeper into this castle, you notice things. You notice the mounted head of a dragon. You notice like statues of like these large orcish figures, like done in these like poses. And when you look closely, they don't look like marble or stone. They look like taxidermied and stuffed. You notice paintings of Gregarian, or this young man with this flowing blonde, like dirty blonde hair, and he's got a spear and shield, and he's like stabbing up towards like this dragon or these beasts, and you see these like portraits of these events or things happening. Look
Are
down
we able
other
to-
hallways. Oh, go ahead.
Are we able to see where they're bringing the items that we brought in?
No, they went off in a completely different direction.
Okay.
You did for a little while, and then as you guys were being led deeper into the center, they branched off into another hallway a while back.
Okay.
You guys are led deeper into this, and as you guys get deeper towards the center, you notice more of these intricate statues. Things that you have never seen before. Animals in various poses. You see like the head of a white dragon. You go further in, you see another one of like a bronze dragon. You see like this leopard beast with this like tail that has an eye on the end of it, and it's poised on this like platform, like it looks like it's getting ready to strike. You see many different beasts and humanoid creatures posed in all of these different things. And as you are led into these double set of bronze, almost gold doors, the doors open, and you see sitting at the head of the table, Gregarian, with two other individuals, very regal looking, with almost these like very high, like coify looking bulbs, and they have like these ruffles around their shirts, and they have long, dark black hair. And they're sitting, and they seem to be just kind of waiting, drinking wine. And as you enter, the entire walls are lined in statues, paintings, and on one set of the walls is almost like an aquarium. And as you walk in, you see what looks to be like a mermaid, like a half humanoid, half fish swimming in the water, and other creatures that you've never seen before. And it's you. Oh, good.
What was in there? Did you say a mermaid was in there?
What looks to be like a mermaid.
So it's a huge thing.
Like this, like huge circular room. And as you guys enter, you watch as the three individuals stand up. Welcome to my dinner table. Please join us. The hopefully next champion of the arena.
Thank you for the invite.
Yes.
We're very grateful.
I do not believe I have caught your name. What would that be? I believe that one is Morn, correctly?
Correct.
Ah, yes.
Could I maybe do insight into whether Freya would use her own name?
Yeah.
Or make one up? Because we usually separate at the fights, so I'm not sure if she's ever introduced herself to someone as Freya or as someone else.
You've actually, honestly, you don't really know if she has used it or not, or if she's even told anybody what her name is.
I'll kind of do a nice, very polite little curtsy, put my hand out, and I'll say, it's Fran.
Ah, Fran of the House of... I do not believe I've heard of you, or your beast training of any sorts.
Well, we're a bit of a newcomer to the game here. Just trying to make a name for ourselves. Like you said, hopefully hopefully the new champion, people will start to learn more and more who we are.
Interesting. Oh. Is that on my end or you guys' end? Nope,
What?
that was on my end. Never mind. My stream quit. Well, please, seat. Have a drink. You've dressed him very well.
He's a good boy.
That he is. Does he sit at the table, or does the table manners? And should we sit him towards the end?
He should be at the table. I'll defer to you on placement.
I'm gonna take a couple of steps toward the end of the table.
Okay. So, he looks to be well trained and groomed. I believe we can sit him at the table with us. So, please pull up a chair next to your master, and let us have drinks and converse.
I'll look back at him and just open my eyes really wide, and then go and sit at the spot.
Okay. You guys are led to, like, he sits at the head of the table, and you guys are led to pretty much right across from the other two individuals, about 4 or 5 seats down from Gregarian, on the right side of the table, with your backs facing the humanoid water creature. Does he drink? Do you prefer that he drinks? Does he like water? Does he need a bowl?
Bruh.
Does he do tricks?
He does. He eats and drinks with me typically for dinner.
Ah, very well trained one. Does he speak, or should we refer our questions to you?
He's not particularly well read, but he speaks fine. We like to really focus on reinforcing good behavior, sort of more of a carrot training than a stick. It's just
Very
my
well.
personal style. And since he's been doing so well, I admittedly am prone to spoiling him a little bit.
As you should. He seems to take very well to the arena. And he waves a couple of people in, and as he brings them in, the wine is poured for the two individuals across from you, to you and Gregarian.
Cool.
Hell yeah.
So, do tell me, where do you hail from?
Well, all over, really. I've traveled throughout Rothos for most of my life, doing work here and there, getting into training of various kinds, and that's how I admittedly sort of stumbled into this work that we do now.
Interesting. Where do you base your fighting pits out of?
Well, we've been in Steinthorn. We've spent some time in Scornswald, and then we really travel. I think in trying to spread our name and make ourselves known, we've wanted to make appearances in, all the major cities, Rothos. So.
I see. Is he, do you have any plans on breeding him when you win the champion spot?
Bruh.
I can't.
You'll have to forgive my ignorance. I hadn't considered it.
Oh, yes. Usually the champion that I now own, the current head of the arena, we breed him about 2 or 3 times a week. Usually the offspring can prefer. Stop it, guys! You guys are fucking me up. We breed them
Like he's like a horse.
Oh my
2 or 3
God.
times a week. The offspring, depending on size upon birth, usually we keep them. If not, they're usually tossed out to the dire wolves out back.
Damn.
It creates
Savage.
a very strong offspring. We use them for the usually for the town guard or the army per se. He also brings in very larger children. They grow to be rather engorged. Does he have all those teeth?
Most of them.
That's good. Big one. Could you just give me?
I'll sort of
Yeah, I'll smile at him.
look at Morin and I'll kind of
Liver-
tap Morin on the shoulder. You want to do some breeding, buddy?
I'm gonna give him expose my teeth, but like not really a smile. Like
Like just showing all the teeth, but just like not
Like
making a face.
a
Like here's the teeth.
like what the fuck?
He's like Ed Norton in Fight Club when he shows his boss's teeth. He's
Yeah,
got
yeah.
bruises all over him. His teeth are messed up.
Does he have all his
Hmm.
teeth?
Kai, don't tempt me, bro.
I mean, they do
Mm.
that in dog shows.
He's very, he's cleaned very well. Manicured. Teeth are intact, meaning good feedings. Very well groomed. Does he carry any diseases?
No,
Yes.
no.
All of them.
You know, there was a time when we were just starting out where we were not that
Yeah.
well
No,
off.
herpes is back.
Oh,
Not
no.
again.
Well, he's got a touch of the gnome herpes.
Oh, touch of the gnome herpes.
So clean as well. You see these other individuals over here. They are actually part of my breeding stock. They handle the finances. They handle the current wares that I hold within my stable. Would you be interested in selling?
Oh, I don't think I'd be interested in selling. I do have a question. The women, where do you get the women, and how do you select? How do you select them if they're not arena champions?
Do I get to choose?
No.
It speaks.
I'll slap more in the face.
roll to attack. Roll to attack.
Well,
Just
I
go
guess
with
the-
it, buddy. Roll to attack unarmed.
Like, how dare you speak?
We'll say at advantage.
Oh,
I'm gonna let
no.
him. I'm gonna try and let him hit me.
Okay, never mind then. If he's gonna let you hit him, then. So, as you say this, Kaz just
One's a good sport.
like backhands you. Roll for damage. Roll for damage.
it's just two.
Okay, you take 2 points of damage as he backhands you, and you feel like a little on the inside of your lip. You're kind of like, eh. Oh, very nicely handled. He spoke out of turn, easily disciplined, does not reflect back, no flinching. Yes. We choose our women on looks, usually bust size, hip size, breeding standards. We use them to be able to handle the larger girth of our males. You
Smart.
guys are making this really fucking hard to do, by the way. Stop.
Ooh, I'm curious to see if it update. Oh, it updated real time with your hit points going down. The overlay.
Oh shit. Cool. By the way, Jaden, if you want in on that, you just have to link your character with the D&D Beyond campaign that I put up. You don't have to, just saying. But but we choose our females based on breeding standards according to the male. Usually the ones that the bodies cannot hold up to the breeding, they're usually cast out and not used.
Wow. Not used. Just the way that you're playing this guy makes me hate him every time he opens his mouth just a little more.
This is
I'm
dark, gritty fantasy, baby. This is how it goes.
Oh yeah. No, I'm here for it, but I hate him.
Then stop fucking laughing and let's make it serious.
Fine.
Yeah.
God.
Anyway.
Fucking my mic then.
So, I ask. So then, do you come here for money? Do you come here for the thrill? Do you just come here for the opportunity to advance?
We're mostly just looking for some advancement, some renown. You know, everybody's got to eat, right?
Correct.
But I think we're focused mainly now on gaining some renown, with the understanding that once you have that, the money comes later, right?
Yes.
We certainly, you know, at some point, I could see myself in an operation like you have here, right? You've got obviously done really well for yourself. This is what everyone aspires to, right?
You're not wrong, but I worked very hard to get here, and I was given this opportunity by my forefathers. As you can tell, I'm a hunter and a collector by nature. 1 second. Bring in the first course. And as he says that, the table, 5 or 6 servants come in, and they line the table with like all sorts of like hors d'oeuvres. You know, like anything you could pretty much think of. Some kind of like pig's knuckle. There's some kind of like breads. There's like a small little fountain of almost like gravy or something like that, and like artichoke dip or something like that. And then other forms of drinks, and plates and utensils are placed in front of each and every single one of you guys. Yeah, you better get on that pitch for those lizard wings, Cass. Get that business thriving. But a large glass is actually set in front of you, Morn, and filled up with beer. We figured he liked the cruder stuff. We keep the wine to ourselves. But please, help yourself to whatever is in front of you, food-wise, and eat up. The second, third, and fourth course will come as we go.
I'll sort of eat, and then, you know, as we're eating, I'll ask him. So, you seem to be very involved in the arena fights here. How did that come about, and how, you know, are there a lot of former champions here? Do they you know, collect may not be the right word. Are they? Do you collect them? You keep them here on the grounds? Are there a lot of them? You know, it's fascinating to me as a more traveling group, right? If you don't mind, I guess I'm just seeking to understand sort of how things operate around here.
My champions are bred. The current champion is a 4th line. He is bred from his great-grandfathers. That has been passed down. Usually after most of my champions have been retired. Once they get to a certain form and are unable to keep up, I usually retire them to the fields, depending on their win ratio. If they've done very well for themselves, I retire them to the bathhouses, where they help the females and live out their lives in sort of a bliss. The current champions, he sleeps here within the castle, and he is kept very well groomed and fed, as he fights pretty much daily or bi-daily upon request. And I breed him, like I said, about 2 to 3 times a day to keep the line fit. I always pick the best, and I keep them to train within the castle here, and which of those childs proves themselves to be the better warrior, they get moved into a more specialized classes focused on fighting and defense.
So if Morn were to be at some point the reigning champion at the arena, he and I would have quarters here for us.
No, you would hold the reign of champion, and I would hope to broker some form of breeding program between your male and my females to allow for a new line of champion to be bred.
Gregarian, I want to be abundantly clear how grateful I am that you're having us here and having this conversation with us. Could I ask you another question? I'm hoping not that it doesn't offend you, but if I could speak freely.
You are among friends here. Please speak.
Morn is the only collection that I have. If I wanted to expand and obtain other fighters, or maybe other rare oddities or rare gems, so to speak, how would one go about doing that? I'm putting a lot of my eggs in this man's basket, and he's done very well, but I really feel like I need to diversify a little bit, and I'm not sure how to kind of break into that.
As you finish that, more food is brought to the table, kind of a second course meal, small little steaks with kind of some veggies on the side. More in your drink is refilled. Have you been drinking and eating?
Oh yeah, I would have chugged the beer.
Okay.
Probably,
So
I was gonna wait for like a kind of a quiet drop in the conversation and just belch super loud.
So as you finish that, all of a sudden Morn just.
You see why I ask?
Yes.
Would you like? As far as he's come, there's still a long way to go.
Would you like a choker?
No, he's fine. We'll address it later.
Fair enough.
In private, yes.
Make a persuasion check.
Persuasion starts with a P. It's in the P's.
PB. Okay. Yeah.
Bet.
There's several different ways we could go about this. If, say, your champion, he takes the reigning champion title, I would hope that we could broker some sort of breeding program. Which, beneficial, if this is your only champion, we could breed the stud and allow for strong offspring, whereas we could, instead of fees to breed your stud and use my females, we could call it a wash, and we could equally take the better of the two breeding programs, hopefully getting one strong successor for you, and maybe one or two for me, and another one or two for you. As for other items, there's many people in town here that do broker certain items that you are looking for. Are you looking for exotic new fighters? Are you looking for rubies, gems, emeralds? I do know several different people that could easily find you different kinds of breeders. I have contacts with a not so savory character. I believe, what are they called? He turns to the two individuals. Do you remember what we called that individual? Yes, I believe his name was Zaro. We used him for the last batch that we brought in. Yes, Zaro. He runs a trading organization. He's done very fruitful for us and allowed for many fine wares to come through. If you want, I could get you in contact with this individual.
Kaz knows that name.
Would it be too forward if I asked to maybe see what type of inventory he has, or what he's brought?
Oh, yes. Easily.
You know, there are people we'll say people that are becoming increasingly rare in this world, and I understand that some people will pay a lot of gold to get their hands on those certain people.
Elaborate?
This is, you know, some people may consider this unsavory business. Sort of people of exotic lineages that are living among us.
Do you mean elves?
Elves of various kinds, yes.
Interesting. And a smile kind of creeps across his face. It's very doable. I know of individuals that dabble in that as well and are able to bring that ware in. Not hard. They do fetch a little bit more of a price, though.
Is that something that somebody could break into? And I'm hoping that, you know, maybe that's an industry that we could get into and use that funds to help fund the training of additional fighters, right?
Yeah. So, that's funny that you would ask that. And he takes like a big sip of his wine, and he sits back into his chair. You do know what they call me. My nicknames. When I was younger, of course.
The Hunter. Sure.
Yes. The Hunter.
I
was
saw
called...
some wonderful paintings and things on the way.
Times from my youth. I was called the Hunter because I was very good at not so much fighting hand to hand, but it was entrapment, setting up bait, luring in my prey. And then, as time has gone by, I've been known as a collector of sorts. Rare oddities, elves, gnomes, dragons. High-class elves with different colored eyes are something that fetch my draw, and especially those of the elven nature.
Now, is this a revenue-generating operation for you, or is this a passion project?
A little bit of both. A little bit of both. Kaz and Morn, if you guys could roll a Constitution saving throw for me.
Whoa.
Okay.
Fuck yeah, Kaz.
Morn, your body begins to get really heavy. Like, really heavy. And you begin to feel yourself falling asleep. And Kaz, you feel something and you're just kind of like you've been talking, so you haven't had as much. And you look over and Morn is just like...
And we would know that this is not an amount of alcohol that would typically have that effect.
Ah, it looks like that one's taken effect already. You see, when people come into my town, and he starts to like look at his fingers and like sips his wine, you don't think it's the first thing that I don't notice when ruckus is caused. When people run through my town, make noise, poke their nose where it doesn't belong. You don't think I don't know when elves enter my city?
Oh, I think you do. I think that's why I was asking you.
Yes. And as you look over, two individuals are stepping behind Morn and placing the collar around Morn, and two individuals have walked to your left and to your right. Now you see, we can do this the hard way or the easy way. Either we can sit and we can have a conversation a little bit longer, or you, little elf, can come with me. Oh, we've been watching you.
No!
We've been watching you.
Uh-oh.
We know the inn that you go to, and we have little friends that are going to go visit them a visit as well. You see, when people make a ruckus in my city, I make it my thing to know why and who and how. My little rats are everywhere.
Rats.
Make another Constitution saving throw, Gaz.
Shit,
With
of
advantage
course.
because you had a nat 20 the last time.
Fucking, like, change shape to fucking
You
Freya.
just passed. You feel your body get even heavier again. And it almost makes you like pass out. You feel like this just huge draw to close your eyes. And Morn is just out.
Gregarian, I think you do a great job running this city. I don't mean to insult you, but I believe you've mistaken. I'm no elf. You have a wizard that I saw on the way in. There's a way, maybe a spell that could ensure that I'm telling the truth. I'd be happy to submit to it. If I've used an illusion to disguise myself, you could dispel that, right? Again, I would submit to your mage casting that spell.
Bring it in.
I think you've mistaken me for someone else. That's
If I
not
have.
to say you don't run a tight operation.
If I have, then I apologize greatly. But if I haven't, we're going to do a little visiting. An individual comes in and sits down next to you. If you submit to this, I will not question or ask any more than need be.
I trust you'll be a gentleman and a man of your word.
That I will. An elven female sits next to you. Pulls back the hood and is deeply scarred, like deeply scarred. And she looks at you, pain in her eyes, and like holds out her hands. She casts Zone of Truth.
Okay.
Okay.
I think
Do
there's a
you-
wisdom save, but I'll be willing.
You create a magical zone that guards against deception. A creature that entered the spell for the first time, blah 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 blah, charisma saving throw. You cannot deliberately tell a lie while in the radius.
Okay.
Okay. Elio, is it done? Yes. Are you an elf?
No.
Did you come here to kill me?
No.
He sits back in his seat, takes another sip of wine. Are you here for my secrets below?
Out of character, I don't know. I don't know what would be below, right?
You guys, not below, technically, you know something's going on. That's up to Kaz how you would interpret that then.
We'll say, I am here to learn your secrets. Yes.
Are you here for the stone?
No.
And he just stares attentively at you.
I will stare as confidently of a face as I can have.
Does your group wish me harm?
I don't know.
Release the spell. You feel like this wave wash over you, like you were released. I do apologize. Certain measures have to be taken in a person of my position.
I do understand that. The spell is no longer here, but in the spirit of honesty, I would be lying if I said that I wasn't hurt a little bit. But I certainly understand.
A favor you may request, then, for answering truthfully, and remove the collar from him. Please bring the antidote to wake him. And you see somebody scurry off behind the scene behind you, and the collar is taken. You watch as somebody steps behind, presses the back of the collar, and it pops off of Morn. And Morn is kind of sat up abruptly in his seat as he's just like dangling.
I think what I would like, and let me know your thoughts, is maybe some more information on where to find elves myself. How to get into this racket that you've gotten into, right?
Come with me.
And if there's a way to do that without, I would be grateful to you if that was something. If that was a world you could bring me into, I would be grateful. And I want you to know that I wouldn't be looking to step on your toes, right? I know not to bite the hand that feeds. That's what I teach my fighter here, right?
Roll a persuasion check with advantage. Kaz killing it. Yeah. I feel like I have already stepped on some toes. And my apologies, as much as one can be from one gentleman to a lady. I feel like I have overstepped my boundaries. It will be a bit before he wakes up. If you would prefer, I can show you some of the already wares that have come in this evening. Some of them a higher stock than others. I can certainly help you procure the correct terms and allocate the proper wares.
That would be
But
great.
it is not a cheap business. Lucrative as it is, they are shipped in from another continent and hard to find.
Interesting.
They are a stock that can be plucked like cattle from another land that was once thought to be non-existent, where they still seem to breed.
And you have a supplier that goes to this other land, maybe a number of ships that sail out there and return and bring them in here?
Correct. Sometimes more fruitful than others. We do lose a ship from time to time, as it is a treacherous ocean. Not to mention the natives do fight back from time to time. So
Certainly. Let me know if I'm going too far. The supplier that travels out to them, you have favorable terms with them, or could it be better?
we have pretty favorable terms. Lucrative on both ends. We both make an appropriate amount of coin.
Is your relationship with them strictly business, or does it go further? For example, if someone were to undercut or replace them, would that, and as a result, you maybe made more coin, would that be upsetting to you, or would that be beneficial to you and make you happy?
I mean, I'm always here to make more coin. More produce, more stock equals more money. That being said, if somebody were to have a better avenue to bring more stock over, I would see favorable terms plus stock they bring. First shipment, maybe 2, to see what kind of wares, and if the wares are better or of equal value for less price, I would be willing to make a switch.
Been thinking a lot about what people call the Andrew Carnegie model of supply chain. I don't know if you've heard it. Very
really.
efficient. I'm wondering if I could maybe save you money in this operation and maybe also make some for myself.
Interesting. How do you have a ship? Do you have a captain that knows the sea and the route?
Well, there would be a lot for me to do, but if I really focus on accomplishing something, I tend to do it.
I respect that.
But yes, please proceed. Let's. I'd love to see what you have.
Let's go. And he stands up and grabs his wine, pours like a little bit more into it, and kind of like motions for you to follow.
Is Morn still out, or is he up?
Oh yeah, Morn's out. You see somebody like kind of slipping something into the mouth and like shoving it down his throat and like what like the dog like down the throat.
Oh yeah.
Morn's just like.
I'll ask. Should we should we wait for him? Is he okay here?
He would be fine. I have the best taking care of him. And you see, like, 2 elven females and 1 human female on, like, shackles and, like, these white cloaks that seem to be tending to Morn.
He's a large investment for me, right? So
I promise no harm will have come to him, and he won't even remember what happened, other than he maybe had too much to drink.
thank you.
Not a problem.
Off we go.
Please. He begins to lead you down. Those 2 gentlemen actually stand up and walk out of the room and go the opposite direction down another set of doors, and kind of like low bow. He leads you into a back room and down a set of hallways, and as he does, he opens up this hallway into another room, and it's kind of a little bit darker, but you get the sense, think like Ace Ventura, like the second one, when he walks into that room and there's like all of the animals like all over the room.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's the same way. Like, there's so many exotic monsters and other things, mounted, stuffed. You know, I apologize for the display. I get a little excited when it comes to my collections, and I like to display them. We'll walk quickly through this room, as I do apologize once again.
Sure. As I look through, I don't see I don't see any moon elves that look like Andre, right?
Make a perception check. Okay.
God fucking damn it.
You don't see any like moon elves, but you do see like an elf, like a. You wouldn't know what it is exactly, but out of character, it looks to be like a high elf. It's got like the really elongated like ears.
Yeah.
And it's kind of in like a hunting pose with a bow drawn, and it says like in common, like elvish as highest, like almost like Latin, like, you know, like when you name certain things, and they give them like those really weird long names, and it's like this like name like high elven da 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 da, like this weird name, and then like next to it you see like this other like monster looking thing with like snakes for arms and a head. You see like an albino gnome that seems to be kind of mounted.
Okay. I'll just keep following him.
Okay. He leads you down intricate sets of doors, hallways, and he leads you down into kind of like a sub dungeon, and you see him like he grabs this like a sconce, like a torch off the wall, and leads you down. I do apologize, it gets a little dreary down here, but you have to keep them out of the sunlight. It keeps them docile.
This is probably more times that he's said sorry to anyone ever in the past like 10 minutes.
She's a female, and
True.
Yeah.
He did her
True.
wrong.
Huh?
True.
About like 2 or 3 minutes goes by, and you kind of walk down this like circular staircase, and as you get to the bottom, you come to a large iron door, and he reaches into his the blouse of his shirt and pulls out like a set of 3 keys, and one of them has a skull on it, one of them has an octagon almost looking one with 3 spikes, and another one has like an intricate like a G with the key portion at the end of it. He grabs the G portion and sticks it into the door and turns the key clockwise, counterclockwise, clockwise, and then pushes the door forward. And as he does, the door opens, and you are immediately hit with the scent of like urine and feces and kind of like I don't know, like barnyard almost. I do apologize for the smell. They're filthy creatures. We try to keep them bathed as much as possible, but you can only do with them so much. Please, this way. And he brings you in, and you see individual cages, and what the cages, like right next to where the door is, there's like a little feeding trough on each cage that like is half out of the cage, half in the cage, where it's good enough where you could literally dump food into this trough, and it drops down into the cage for them to eat. And then you see kind of like dirty like water that's got like straw and hay in it and whatnot. And in the far corners you do see the outline of elves, and there's all kinds of elves. As you look closely, there's some that they look a lot like Henri, like a moon elf, darker complexion. You see some that are very light skinned, like almost like super pale. You see others that are dark skinned, like almost like brown, and they have like hints of like forest looking through them. And then you have other ones that have that long, elongated ears. I have quite a plethora of the ones that I've kept. They're incredible to breed. Their cycles don't match up that well when I've tried to use them towards breeding my champion, hoping to get some of the speed and accuracy. But they're good for other things, experimentation. They make very good house slaves, as they are very agile and do not spill or crack things very often. They live long lives, so as long as they're well fed and groomed, they tend to last for a while.
And you mentioned you had a range as far as value, but also rarity. Are these sort of in the middle? Are these?
Oh, they range.
The ones in the room that we see. Does this contain the full spectrum of the range of those?
Oh yes, and he goes from left to right, and he points out the one that almost looks to have like the dirt complexion. You see, this is I believe what they call a wood elf. They live primarily in the woods, in the trees. They're harder to capture. They go on the cheaper end as they're more feral. Harder to tame, harder to break.
Feral?
They're on the yeah, I know, but he said feral. It's just the way he said it.
feral.
He talks that way.
Yeah, he's
Fair.
an idiot.
Being very exaggerated.
They're very feral. Harder to break down, harder to tame. They usually go for cheaper. Not as smart. And you see it kind of like look at you and him, and daggers in the eyes. Over here we have I believe they call them they tend to sit more kind of in the middle range. These are your generic elf. A lot of them you can breed, and you get like a half elf mixture. Not too much about them, but they're a little higher stock. I use these mostly for housemaids and or cleaning. Over here, we have the high elves. They are a smarter breed. More of astute. They take better to the book. They're very good at reading and literacy if you teach them. And he kind of like grabs like a piece of meat, like raw meat, and like dangles it like you would for like a dog, and like chucks it into the cage. And you see as he chucks it in, you see the two like older ones. They don't move, but a young, like probably a child of like 5 or 6, run out towards the cage and grab the piece of meat and go and sit back next to the two older companions. Now this last one, they fetch a price. I have found these ones I don't really give away, as they tend to take better to trials. These ones, they have a hue to their skin, and they take more to the arcana. Very interesting type, these ones. And he kind of points like towards the one in the back corner, and it looks a lot like Henri. Not like Henri, just in color and, elven style. I believe they call these ones something of the moon. They're very deep-hued individuals. They range on this continent on the far side, a little harder to fetch, and they break pretty medium. It takes a lot to break them in, but once you break them in, they're very docile.
So if I were to find one of these, could I bring it to you?
I'm angry.
Of course.
Needed to show my face.
Do you know of any around? I know a lot of the elves that do exist on this continent are of the medium variety. I usually deal more of the high elf to moon, as they fetch a higher price. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know it. I don't know any, but if there are areas where we can tend to find them, Morn and I could probably capture a couple.
I do hear that there's a small civilization of them living in the north along the Evercrest Mountains somewhere. I have sent scouts that way, and I do believe the Empire looks to branch more into that area as well. So, if you find out before I do, I would pay very handsomely for that. And as he's talking to you, you make another perception check. Yeah. So as he's talking to you, out of the corner of your eye, you see another door kind of to the far back. This one is heavily gated off, and underneath the bottom of it, you do see every once in a while kind of like a flicker of like a blue hue light, and then you see like a red light, and then the light fades out and then comes back again, almost like somebody's like starting something or turning something off.
I'll just sort of point out to him the door and kind of the light under the door changing. I'll just ask, are there more in there?
There's more in there, but that's more my room. I do a lot of trial and error back in there. The Empire has asked for certain projects to be completed. So unfortunately, I cannot show you that room.
Sure. You've been very generous with your knowledge.
I do apologize for earlier. Would you like to purchase any of these wares? I will let you take one if you find any of them to be of stock value for you.
What would the going price be for maybe one of these elves of the moon?
Oh, they fetch anywhere around 800 to 1200 gold.
Interesting.
Like I said, a lot of them are used for that are sold here are used for usually arcana research. They provide very good mediums.
Is this the only place that sort of research goes on?
There's other areas that I know of off the top of my head. I'm not sure, but this is one of the primary ones. Yes.
Looking at them, I assume there's not one that would be like the appropriate age or build where I would suspect that. I mean, I've never seen Henri's daughter before, so I don't know if I'd really be able to tell that one were her.
There's 3 in there right now. One male and 2 females. The one female looks to be, I mean, if you're not really sure elven wise, but if you had to guess, If it was a human, you would think it was probably in his late 50s. So you're probably not. And the other one is very young. You would think maybe like 10 or 12 human year wise.
Female?
Yes.
If I bought them both, would there be a volume pricing?
I believe I could I believe we could form some kind of deal. Are you thinking the two elderly?
Yes, I was thinking the two, the moon elves over here.
I would say altogether, $850 for the male and about $1,300 for the female. I would say probably altogether I would give you a pricing of maybe $1,850 gold pieces.
And we could do that today.
I'd be willing to make that deal. I would have to arrange something a little later tonight for you to be able to move the wares out.
Sure. We'll be in town over the next several days, but I'm certainly interested.
Perfect. I do have a way of getting them outside of the building that I could have set up that would allow you to take them not through the main streets but through another process.
Sure. As we're as we're leaving with them, do we need to be cautious about people seeing them in the streets?
As long as you have them cuffed and chained and cloaked, you should be fine. I will provide you papers of purchase that will allow you to carry them as slaves.
Perfect. That was my next question. Okay. Well, I'd be very happy if you'd be willing to part with these two. We can come back tomorrow in the morning, or whenever you're ready, whenever things are in order.
A deal it is then. Half down now and half at purchase.
Sure.
A deal it is. So I said that, what, 1850? So
$925.
there you go. Thank you. I'm like,
What a I don't know if I'm allowed to ask this, but since I'm definitely going to ask as Henri, like, what did she look like? What does she look like?
She has dark black hair. Probably looks like elven wise, probably older, but if you were to look at her in human terms, probably 10 to 12 years old. Green eyes, youngish looking. So, you pay half the money?
I do. I'm burning through this gold.
So,
Accidental roofie discount.
yeah, right. So a deal is struck, and he puts out his hand. Shake on it.
And I'll shake.
Shake. Deal it is. I will line it up to have a. Where would you like to meet? I can send it to wherever your residence is. I thought you were staying at the inn, but I obviously made a mistake. Would you like to just meet back here whenever you are ready for the purchase of the rest of your wares? And I can set up to have you brought to the pickup spot.
Yeah, I think that would be my preference if we could return here and pick them up.
Perfect. Say tomorrow night around 10 o'clock. And I will have you meet at the same entrance that you entered in, and I will have you brought around to the spot of purchase.
That'd be fantastic.
Perfect.
Ginge, I messaged you like a description of her, didn't I?
Yes.
Where the fuck is it? I'm trying to find it.
It's way in there, dude. It's deep, deep. I tried to find it a while back. It's deep, deep, deep.
Did you try using?
I
the
went
search
like
function?
back to the beginning. Oh shit.
Right, use,
Yeah.
Use search.
Yeah.
And then when you find it, just pin it.
But he asks you if you are done searching through the wares and if there's anything else you would like to purchase.
I think that's all.
Perfect.
now.
I will have somebody come down and clean the male and female pair. The child will be left here. So it takes a little bit to the separation anxiety gets to them when you separate them. So do not worry when a little bit of we'll muzzle them on the way out. It's not a problem.
So the purchase is for the male and the child, or the male and the
The male and the female,
not the child.
not the child.
Okay. And would you be open to keeping them together and parting with all three?
I can part with all three if you would like to add. The child is a little more expensive as they are more of
Sure.
a sturdier wear.
You get a lot more years. Yeah.
Correct. I'd be willing to part with the child for. Oh, let's see. You did buy the 2 pair. Usually they run around 1,500. I would say I would be willing to settle on the child for 925. We'll say with discount for the accident upstairs.
Certainly.
That's your wish, guy.
I think I can do that.
If you want, I can hold on to her until you come and pay for the rest of them. We'll figure the amount that you've given me now is a down payment to hold all 3.
Where the fuck?
Perfect. Very generous.
Perfect. A deal is struck. I will have the 3 prepared, gagged, and cleaned.
Thank
I
you,
will
sir.
see. Not a problem. We will see you tomorrow around, we'll say, 10 o'clock. I'll bring you to the west gate. North, south, east. Yes, west gate. Same gate that you entered, and we will bring you to the proper location.
This is very excited. I'm very happy to be working with you, and I'll reach out my hand again to shake his hand.
And he reaches out and he gives you a smile and shakes it right back. Well, let's get out of here. It's very dreary and smells. I can already feel it seeping into my clothes. I don't know about yours. And he leads you through the door, and as he closes the door behind him, he leads you up the stairs and back into the main area where you see Morn is like slowly coming to now, and he's kind of like looking around the room. He looks like super drunk, but like coming out of it.
I'll just tap him on the shoulder and say, I think we're good here. It's time to go.
I will have somebody lead you out, and once again, my apologies. But I'm glad to have done business with you, and hopefully very fruitful in the future.
Agreed. It was, all in all, it was a great evening. Very happy to have been here. Hopefully our setback is water under the bridge.
I agree. Please. And you watch as the elven females stand you up and kind of like lift Morn up and help him stand and start to guide you guys towards the rooms on the way out.
I'm sorry I fell asleep, Master.
And I'll are we still within earshot of Gregorian?
Yeah.
I'll look at him and say, see how fast he learns.
Very well trained indeed. The sign of a great trainer. And he sits back down and crosses his leg and just begins to he sips the wine. You can see him like staring at the glass of wine like he's thinking, but kind of smiling. So.
And I'm assuming the guys that are leading us out are gonna take us to the armory with our things, right?
Nope, they lead you straight out to the gates, and as you get to the outer gates, everything is waiting for you.
Ah, okay.
Cool.
So they never brought the stuff in.
Oh yeah, they brought it in.
Okay, they did.
They were just ordered to bring it back out.
Gotcha. Okay.
So you guys are led to the outer gates. You are led to the end of the bridge and released into the night.
I thought we were all breaking
got
in
our-
during all of that.
Were you guys trying to break in during all that?
I think that was kind of the plan while they were in there keeping him distracted.
'Kay.
So, but that can be done completely separately. Like we could rewind and just
Oh,
do
yeah.
this segment with the group or something.
So-
I don't know.
Yeah.
So as you guys are released onto the bridge, we will end the night there. As the rest of that is going to get kind of crazy depending on what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with our deal.
Yeah, so lots of shit to go over
I
next
found it.
week. Definitely
Finally.
not the what I thought would happen. Well played.
Trespasser.
Very interesting.
You
Lost
played to
it.
your strengths, buddy.
You know,
Holy fucking shit. I can't believe you talked your way out of that.
I was a little worried we were going to be locked in the dungeon for the rest of the night.
Right? Fucking right.
You had him
Kaz.
apologizing to you, man.
Killed
like,
it.
damn.
Fucking killed it.
I
That could have
think-
gone. Yeah. That
You
could have
had
gone
you
different.
had him wrapped around your little finger, man.
That couldn't have
this-
actually couldn't have gone better. I think that couldn't have gone better.
Yeah, I think that some of the Zone of Truth answers are hard. I think I was truthful in all of them. The only, I mean, like the ones that said like, "Are you here to kill me?" No, because we're really here to get Honor's daughter. You know, would I be willing to kill him? Sure.
Yeah.
But I'm not here for that, right? So I think that's the truth.
It's a creative way around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I you know,
Because you're like, it's not my primary objective, so no.
right? You know, it's not what I'm here for. You know,
Right. That's a side quest, you know.
If he had said, you know,
Killing
would
him
you
is a
prefer
side
that I
quest.
didn't exist in this world, I probably would have had to say yes.
Right, right.
Well, I
It
was
was-
right. He was gonna ask, "Are you human?" And that would have to be
Yeah.
no.
Yeah,
So-
I feel like if
We
he
got
asked
lucky
for
in how he
magical
phrased
creatures,
it.
right? Could have been really
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, that was.
Because a changeling would probably be worth all of his collection combined.
Probably.
As you can tell, he was expecting. As you can tell, he was expecting somebody else.
Yeah,
He was expecting Freya.
which I didn't even consider
Instead,
going
he
in,
got
which
Fran.
seems so stupid. Like, how did? Of course, like.
Yeah, and like that quickly too, because we thought we'd have to become the champion to talk to him. And then all of a sudden he's like, hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why do you think he bumped it up?
It's so good that Kaz went instead.
Oof.
So
Kaz has that silver tongue. I think
And then also, we'll get 3 of these people
Freya, no
free.
offense, it's just not your strength.
Oh no! I mean, this is Kaz's fucking strong suit. Like
Yeah,
talk
yeah,
your
no.
way in circles around people, just dance around them.
You gave
Yeah.
him the mental gymnastics, man.
Yeah, but let's see what happens with the other group next week now, because you guys said you
Yeah.
guys are trying to break in. So
Yeah, I mean, we had
Well,
the
this whole
mirror
thing was
plan while
happening.
they were in there, so I don't know.
because that might change what happened now. I mean, I might have to reverse some things because if certain things were happening at certain times, I mean,
Yeah, I think we just let it go on because it was so interesting and Kaz was doing so well. We didn't want him to stop.
Yeah, just let that whole segment be its own thing.
yeah. Next
Yeah.
week will be Onray, Jaden, and Freya.
We're
You
doing
guys ready?
kind of like the Hunter x Hunter Chimera arc shit where they're having
Yeah.
like all the shit going on at once
And then all
Yeah.
of a sudden,
in the
you're,
Palace raid
you're
arc.
looking at it from another perspective,
Yeah.
but in the past. Kind
And then next week it'll be like during this entire time only 5 minutes have passed or some shit.
Yeah.
3 episodes
Yeah,
later,
well,
it's
that
only
would have
been 2
been that
minutes.
probably would have been a course of an hour-ish. Hour and a half.
Okay, so an hour has passed. Yeah, that would. I mean, unless we
Roughly.
encountered some heavy resistance, that probably would have been enough time for us to at least gain entrance, possibly.
Maybe.
Possibly.
We don't know how.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Like I haven't done it yet. We don't know, but
I considered.
Yeah, guy.
I really considered. If I had a way to open these cages, I could probably kill this dude.
yeah.
Because it's
Maybe.
just me and him down there. If I could get I'm surely these slaves would help me if I could get the cage open.
Yeah.
I
think
just
you
I didn't know how to get it open, and I didn't know who else would be, what reinforcements would be on the way, right?
I would say with that perception check to answer that question, 16, they all looked pretty malnourished. They
Yeah.
probably wouldn't be much of a fight.
I mean, they were being fed hay through a trough. So
Yeah, they're basically
these are
eating like,
not a good sign.
yeah, they're eating like gruel, basically. I mean, it's just enough to survive, but not enough to do much.
Yeah, if I could. Yeah.
Yeah. So next week, Jaden, Andre, and Freya, you guys are up. You guys get to figure out if you guys are getting in, how you get in, if you're able to get in, what happens. Yeah. So
Damn.
thank
boy.
you for coming.
So maybe we can say that they like it's sort of cut to like to be continued at the handshake.
I mean,
Depending on what happens, we
technically-
could always do that.
it depends. You guys didn't really say what you guys were doing, so it was kind of up in the air if you guys were
That's
going
true.
that night. So I mean, I think you guys should talk about it with each other and see kind of what you were thinking with the new information. I'm willing to do a little bit of a step back on that, but I mean, you guys kind of said you were going in, but you weren't really sure. So
This is like the time travel paradox where nothing they do can actually affect the timeline that's already happened.
correct, Kai. A lot of them in those cages down below were pretty malnourished and pretty fucked up. I mean, they're being kept in a very dark, bleary nothingness. So, but thank
I
you
feel
for
like
coming.
I feel like eight people, even if they're malnourished, 8 people with adrenaline pumping could maybe restrain somebody, right?
Maybe.
I don't have any facts or information to back that up. That's just what I feel like in my gut.
Possibly. You don't know.
Yeah.
You never know. It could. I mean, yeah. It could be the complete opposite of what you're thinking, or it could be right on. I
Yep.
mean, like I said, that whole thing, that went completely different the way I was thinking.
He is a very Calvin Candy vibe, right? Is that
Cool and
just me?
collected. He's cool and collected.
He seems like a guy who's trying to pretend he's a lot more like educated and elegant than he actually is. Kind of. Is that a fair assumption?
Possibly. Yeah. Definitely. Yep. Not as
True.
no, he would be as hardcore because
He does some fucked up shit.
yeah, he went pretty ham real quick on you to prove a point.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right, people. Thanks for hanging out.
Thanks for
Thanks
coming.
for the patience while we were getting stream up and running. We will see you next week, 8:30 Central. Yeah, have a good weekend. Ciao.
Later.